You are welcome to yet another edition of Abrahamic Mission. My name is Imam Fuad Adeyemi, and joining me in the studio today is Reverend Father Emmanuel Unamba of the Archdiocese of Abuja. Here is serving at St. Cyril Catholic Church, Kado Kuchi. Reverend, you are welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here again.
Thank you so much. And we still have in the studio Dr. Umar Yanda Liu is the Chief Imam of Uthman Bun Affan Mosque, Banex Plaza, here in Abuja. Imam, you are welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Incidentally, the two of you are doctors. You lecture at College of Education in Zuba here, yes, and is also a lecturer at, I think, Theological College in Benue, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I was there before I came back to Abuja.
To Abuja.
Now
okay,
helping the Archdiocese in the
okay. Thank you. So the two of you are not just clergy, you are also educationists. And that is why we have brought you today. Our topic today is youth and faith. You see the way things are happening among our youth, the way as if they were not thinking of tomorrow, as if the only thing about their life now is social media. And we see a lot of vices here and there. But we that we know ourselves as religious leaders, we that we know ourselves as religiously conscious nation, we are not supposed to have this kind of a challenge because we assume that we have something to confront this kind of situation. But we thank God, we know that hope might not be lost if we have people like you around. And that is why today we'll be discussing youth and faith. What can our faith do to shape the life of our youth, and what can it do to prepare them for tomorrow? And before we begin to talk much on that, let's go and read some of the messages that we have received in the last few days. I start with this man. He said, I really enjoy this conversation. Bad teaching has been for long. If both Christian and Muslim teachers can enrich children from grassroots with this teaching of love for one another, there won't be any more ignorant to involve in killing and discrimination in generations to come. God bless you. This man, he didn't put his name. Please, when you are writing, write your name and where you are writing from, please, so that we'll be able to identify, to know whom you are. This person wrote, he said, thank you, sir. I really love the program. Sir, my name is Apoki Ochofie, text from Nasarawa State, Kefi. He says, sir, I am a Christian. My Bible tells me that I should not judge anybody. If a Muslim call me Arna as a person, I will not be provoked because it is not God that called me Arna. So the truth shall be known when we get to heaven, whether I am Arna or not. Father, do you understand that?
Yeah, sure. I do. It came up in one of our discussions. You know, early this year we did what we refer to as Interfaith Week, in which members of the church went to the mosque, and they received us, and there was an interaction inside the mosque. And one of the members of the church asked that very question: why is it that some Muslims refer to Christians as Arana? So they started analyzing and trying to understand what is the meaning of the word itself, and eventually the conclusion which this man gave was also brought out that if you decide to make the judgment yourself, are you taking the position of God from him? It's God who will decide who is godless, an unbeliever, and who is a believer on the last day. So all you need to do is to practice your own faith, do what your faith tells you. You don't need to look at another person and say he's unbeliever. So you are making the judgment for God himself, which is not proper.
You want to say something about that, Arna?
Yes, naturally, faith is something that is only the Creator who has the ability to look into each and everyone's mind or heart and know what exists inside. It is something that you can only judge based on what may be exposed to you. But in all of this is an act of the heart, which should be left to the owner of the heart
To decide.
to decide.
Thank you. This person wrote, he said, "Good evening to you. My name is Aruna from Gombe State. My question is that kindly enlighten my fellow Christian brothers that Muslims believe in Jesus as their prophet, and any Muslim who disregards Jesus as his prophet then is automatically not a Muslim, and he will be punished for that on the day of judgment. Thank you." Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah, that was the topic we treated in another episode, where the Imam Sadiq Abubakar was saying that Jesus is more Muslim than Christian.
Yes. Yes.
I remember that
The
very
topic
vividly.
was Jesus,
our
Jesus.
So he just re-echoed what we said that very day, that any Muslim, I shouldn't be saying this, Imam, we have to.
No, go ahead. I like that.
Yeah, he's the Sadiq Abubakar who did bring that out very clearly, that any Muslim who doesn't believe in Jesus is not a real Muslim. That's judging from the Quran, where it says that that's we don't differentiate between any of the prophets, any of the messengers and prophets. So you are expected to believe not just in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but also in the other prophets. So he's on the right path.
As far as Islam is concerned, a Muslim's faith is considered incomplete if he should in any way disagree or disbelieve in any of the prophets sent by Allah. In the articles of faith that are 6, we have one that you must believe in all the prophets sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why if you look at the second to the last verse of even Surah Al-Baqarah, آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق, I will translate, لا نفرق بين أحد منهم. That no one's belief is considered complete.
Is that the translation?
Yes.
Okay.
Until you believe in Allah, the Creator, in the angels, in the all revealed, divinely revealed books, in all the messengers sent. We don't discriminate or differentiate between any of them. That is, the Prophet himself had this belief, and also those that are together with him had this belief. And that is why anybody who calls himself today a Muslim must also believe. And that is why we don't differentiate, even as the father have just said, that we Muslims, even the mentioning of Isa in the Noble Quran, the number of mentioning of Isa in the Noble Quran is even considered sometimes to be more than that of the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, Isa, we believe in him as we believe in all other prophets.
Okay. But is it true when they mention the name of Jesus Christ as Muslim, that some prayer they still pray for him?
That peace be upon him has been said to the Prophet alayhi salam, peace be upon him.
So when you mention Isa, that is Jesus Christ?
Be said, has also been said on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay, I think I will agree with Father, who said that Jesus was more Muslim.
No, I'm not the one who said that. I was only quoting.
I will quote you that you quoted from somebody. So, that Isa, who is Jesus, is more Muslim.
You know why he said that? Is because of the many miracles of Jesus that are recorded in the Quran, which are not in the Bible. So even from the first day of his birth, how he spoke from the cradle. So because of all those
that
evidence,
one is not in the Bible?
No, it's not in the Bible.
Then I agree with him there.
When he made the bed and breathed upon it and he flew, all those are not in the Bible. So that's why he said we have more miracles of Jesus in the Quran than in the Bible.
So that's bad. Is it related to rising Jesus? Do you know the rising Jesus? Okay, those of us from the great university of Ibadan, we know there's a rising Jesus.
Okay, Okay.
This is where there is the bed
Jesus-
coming, where Jesus out. So probably you are not from the Great University of Ibadan. That's why you don't know. I will explain later after the program. Okay, let me continue with this something. This man wrote, he said, "Good evening. Thank you for the program you put in place. In fact, I dove my calf always. You people are great. I listen to most of your program. Supposing most of our people witness this program of yours, the whole world will be at peace. I was opportune to go on a pilgrimage in Israel. There is a church known as Nativity in Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the Christian, Muslim, and non-Muslim stays together and share many things in common. But we that borrow this religion took it in our heads and through curse, hate speech on each other. Words like Arna is forbidden and should not be heard. Once again, I salute you and the bishop from Southern Kaduna and the man from Imo State, Igbo man and Boju indigene. The good God continue to keep us all. S.A. Anyasina JP, Kefi, Nasarawa State." He said there's a church, I just want to pick one, the Church of Nativity.
Yes.
You know it. Can you
Yes,
explain that church to us?
It is a church
Have you been there?
that was built on the very spot where Jesus was born.
Okay.
So is a commemoration because the Holy Land, as you know, is referred to as Quds by the land of holiness, Bait Maqdis in Arabic. So it is a common heritage. We are on a program now called the Abrahamic Mission. It's a common heritage by both Jews, Christians, and Muslims. So we are sharing in that spiritual richness. And that spiritual richness should enrich us mutually. It is not, when you go to Jerusalem, there's no limitation of the grace. The Muslims come there, they receive their grace as they go to worship in the Masjid Al-Aqsa. And the Christians go there, they go to that church, they get their grace. And then the Jews go to the Wedding Wall, they get their spiritual satisfaction. The same place, the same vicinity.
Okay.
The same vicinity. So God is very mysterious. He pours out his grace, and each of us receive it in our own way, in our own various religions, because he's the author of all the graces. Every blessing comes from God. So there's no particular blessing that is reserved for Muslim or reserved for Christian, because God is the author of all of them.
You want to say something on that, but let me help you. I've learned something. Somebody said people who are not intelligent used to think the God of Muslim is different from the God of Christian or the God of Jews. He said, okay, how many devils do we have? Now, when we are talking of devil, we agree there is one devil. That devil is the one the Christian is talking about, is the one the Muslim is talking about. So why are we not talking of different gods? You want to say something?
No, really, my own comment should have been on what Father have said with regards to Masjid Al-Aqsa, which to us as Muslims is the third most sanctified place as far as we Muslims are concerned, and even encouraged to get prepared and travel to as a matter of visit and to worship there.
Okay.
The one in Mecca, the one in Medina, then Bethlehem.
Okay.
Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me, before I round up this segment, let me quickly take one or two messages more. This man wrote, he said, "Good evening, sir. I have been listening to your program. Very interesting. I come to understand that the two religions preach peace while fighting ourselves. We need to stop it. Para Maitala Johanna from Bracken Ladi, Jos, Plateau State." And this one quickly too, he said, "Good afternoon, our leaders in faith. I appreciate listening to your program every Sunday and pray that our followers will put this into practice to practically respect each other as people of the same source." I'm Benjamin Pokol from Jos. Thank you so much. I think this is where we will go on a break now, but you can also be part of this program by sending your messages to 070-449-44949. Again, 070-449-44949. Please, only SMS or WhatsApp messages. For God's sake, do not call. And when you write your name and where you are writing from. We'll go on a short break now, but don't go away. We'll be back to discuss the main topic of the day.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigerian first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Yeah, welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Abrahamic Mission. And today we are discussing youth and faith. And joining me in the studio today is Imam Dr. Umar Yanda Aliu. He's the Chief Imam of Uthman Bunafan Mosque, Barnes Plaza, here in Abuja. Imam, you are welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And we also have Reverend Father Emmanuel Unamba. We all know him. I don't want to tell you that he's a sheikh. He is from the Archdiocese of Abuja, at St. Cyril Catholic Church in Kadokuchi here in Abuja. Reverend, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Imam.
Don't be surprised when you see a Reverend Father speaking Arabic correctly and with confidence. Don't forget that Arabic is a language.
Not a religion.
Not a religion. Because the Bible that were written in Arabic, the Arab Christians, they will write their Bible in Arabic. So it means speaking Arabic. Don't be surprised, but Sheikh, as we know, is still a Sheikh, and we take him like that. We are discussing youths and faith. Why did I choose this topic today? We know we are too religious in this country. And we are seeing a lot of vices among our youths that is becoming a concern to anybody who thinks that there is future. And that is why we want to look at it holistically today. And for you, you've been lecturing, and which is very good, in a faith-based institution. And Sheikh too is a lecturer in a mixed school, but he teaches a faith-based course. But you relate with all these children, and as a religious leader, Father, how would you describe today's youth based on your experience as an educationist?
Mindful of the fact that the youth category contains demography that are usually confused by nature. It's not that they choose to be confused, but that is the time they are trying to get from one level to the other. So a whole lot of things happening on their head, apart from the natural maturity of puberty, a whole lot of thinking, what is my future? What am I going to do? Which school will I go to? Am I sure I'm choosing the right thing? So that period is usually a period of confusion, and that's why they need special care at that period, special guidance, special direction, because that's where it's from that stage you will know who will be a drunkard, who will be an immoral person, who is going to be a serious-minded person in the future. And so attention should be paid to this group of people. It's not always good to castigate them and say that they're a useless set of youths. And there's that phenomenon where we always look at our own generation as being better than the current generation. And even this generation that we seem to be condemning now, by the next generation, they will say, when we are young people, we didn't do all this. So there's that continual degradation of the past of the future generation by the past generation, as if things has fallen apart. But actually, is it that way? I don't think it's exactly that way. but we perceive it to be so. Why not saying that they are totally in consonance with what they should be, but we seem to always expect more, much more from them than what they are doing now. And of course, the general saying that improvement is the biggest room in the world. There's always room to improve. And that's the purpose of learning, the purpose of seeking knowledge, the purpose of going to faith-based institution, and also the purpose of going to religious institute in order to learn more and to improve on yourself. So our youth are struggling within their concept, within their context, to know themselves. And the challenges we have these days is not like the challenges we had in our time. And the biggest of them is the internet world. What what's the name that they're giving? Gen Z.
Gen Z.
So they have come into a situation where they will look back and ask us, how were you people living when there was no Zoom, when there was no phone, when there was no WhatsApp? How did life look like? So that now,
how do you communicate?
Yes. They didn't know that there was even a time when we didn't have ordinary mobile phone, not to talk of even the different gadgets that they have these days. So these are the challenges that are facing them, and so they are trying to find themselves, they're trying to find their footing within these challenges. And of course, there's that saying that if you grow up in a monastery is a special place where religious people gather, and their only preoccupation is to pray and to give thanks to God. If you grow up in that place, there's little possibility for you to go astray because you are under total surveillance and guidance. But when you grow in an open world, take for instance, you are a worker in a bank where you see money every day, or a government official where you see money moving around, the temptations are more. So what I'm trying to bring out is the fact that our youth these days are in more serious situation that we found ourselves. Those days, you can't talk of watching all kinds of things because you don't. How many people had television? And even the television, you have to wait for a particular time in the day, by 4:30 or thereabouts.
Yes.
When you have to be watching the lines, getting ready to NTA is getting ready to come up.
So you remember?
So those days have gone now, and the young people are now brought into this new challenge, and are trying to their best to see what they can do about it. So the challenges are much, and I think they're trying their best, but we are there also to see how we can guide them, and that's the importance of education.
Your experience to today's youth, how will you describe
Let me
them?
start by giving a brief definition of youth.
Okay.
That is that stage, youth, which can be defined as a transitional stage in human growth and development that is very, very delicate to be handled and managed. If not well managed, that stage, if not well managed, it can lead to another thing entirely. And that is where faith comes in, but shouldn't be at that level. Faith should have started getting into this youth before that stage. What am I saying? As psychologists, we have human development, where human life is being categorized into stages. You have from being conceived to giving birth, early childhood, late childhood, adolescence, then adulthood. So this youth stage exists between the childhood, that is late childhood, and the adult stage, which the years varies according to some institutions. When you look at what the United Nations gave as a definition of youth, the age bracket, they said, according to them, between 15 and 24. When you come down to African Chartered, it's between 15 and 35. But in our own case in Nigeria, it's between 15 and 29. And that is what now makes you eligible to even participate in national youths, telling us that that stage needs much concentration. And even when this NYSC was established, they tried to capture the youth, because when you are able to capture the youth and get them involved and engaged, then the challenges ahead of you will come down. Now, coming down to our discussion, why must we pay attention to this stage in human life? When you started having a child of teenage, adolescent stage, who feels he is mature enough, he can decide on his own, he feels he can behave and take decisions as he wants, without anybody's guidance, makes it a very difficult one. And that is why parents in this modern age are finding it more difficult. The gap of bringing up these children have become more widened as a result of social media of a thing. Because you'll be at home and then somebody else elsewhere is moderating, remodeling,
and training your child.
So the gap is now becoming more wider, and the responsibility is becoming more enormous. And that is why to have a well-balanced young man requires the effort of all. It's a tripartite, let me put it that way, a tripartite responsibility.
But quickly now, I know we'll still get there well. I want you to, your own opinion,
Yes.
your observation, based on interaction with the young people that are referred to as youth. How will you describe them?
I have said it.
Your opinion about it?
I have said it, that it's a stage that is very difficult, and if not well managed, that brings about something else that is never the wish of even the parents. And that is why there is need for that gap to be always closed. Parents, teachers, and also even the society will have to close the gap.
You probably you've not gotten my question well.
Okay.
I don't know whether Reverend understood me. You see, the kind of youth that we have today, even at home, I don't know whether you know one computer application that you can be talking to, not human being, it will be directing you. You can say, what's my name? Can I go out today?
Yes.
Can I have something? It's not a human being. They call it, no?
Some of
Is it AI
Chat
or
GTP,
this
and
is
a whole lot of.
I don't want to mention the name. Before I talk, I've experienced it by myself. I told him I want to go to Garki. What will I meet on the way? And he told me what I will meet on the way. He said, can you advise me to go back home? He said, you can go back home at so time. You can stay at. So you don't even need human being again now. I'm coming, sir.
Yes.
You don't even need human being again now. With your phone, you have done, everything is now even changing. I don't know how you know that it has completely changed. That is one. Then two, you see the way the young people behave and do things now, you'll be worried that are these people that they are going to take over the leadership of their home, of the country, of the environment. You see the issue of so many things that you can't even believe that people can do. That's what I'm saying. You've been teaching, you've been interacting with them. I want you to raise it, some things which you think you have seen. Probably as you ask Father to...
Okay, let me, being in a faith-based institution, I may be limited in that regard because everyone who comes to our institution is focused. Is to be trained to be a leader in the church, a priest in the church. So anybody who comes there should have already directed himself. He should be on a certain trajectory and not just open
like other students in other
students. So, but that notwithstanding, you even see this degradation you are talking of now within the system. A situation where students are supposed to come to class to be directed. Somebody says he's doing online class. He's learning it himself. And yes, the materials are there available, but you need direction. The information is not education. In our world, we have so much information, but that is not education. A lot of information flying around. You need to discern which is proper and which is right to be consumed. Because when you consume an information that is not good, not correct, then you are leading yourself to another trajectory. And the other point that needed to be pointed out is the fact that we are in a situation in Nigeria. We need to situate our youth within our context. Our context is that the youth are so much afraid of tomorrow.
Yes.
The uncertainty of tomorrow.
Yes.
So they're looking for a possible, let me not, what can we do? What can I do? So that my future will not be lost entirely. And that, again, we explain why many of them, this
I think I agree with you.
A whole lot of
a young person was telling his colleagues why he joined secret cults. They asked him, a whole person like you from very good home, he said, my fear is if I graduate, where will I get to? Which work am I going to get? Who is going to help me? He said he has to join that group because of the fear of tomorrow. But Imam, if you look at the way our educational things is happening now, JAMB released their results recently, and we discovered that the results was not as good as it used to be. The same thing with WAEC. We discovered that the same thing, the result of WAEC now, they say about so many thousand, I can't remember the figure correctly, that they failed the exam. Especially they say both English and Maths, and to get up to 5 subjects. With this winner, do we say the standard of education is getting down, or it is the people, the children themselves, who are refocusing their energy in some other area?
You see, Imam, before I respond to this, as I said earlier, I still want to hang on that point that I mentioned.
No, I agree with you.
The issue of this upbringing of these children, which has become another issue entirely. A child can hold on to the parent's phone where parents have not even reached. He can operate it beyond that.
That's true.
So there is need for close monitoring on that aspect. In fact, it's very pathetic. The results of our youth that we are receiving today is very, very pathetic. And we should know that the future lies in those we produce to manage that future. Their background starts from where? And how do they get to that level? Our educational system, the policymakers are trying their best. I want to say the investment, the government needs to do more in investing in our educational system, because it's the backbone of every development we can ever think of. Once our educational system is well balanced and sound, all the excuses we are giving today, our population, our this and that, is a matter of planning, which I know even the policymakers, the government, are having sleepless nights over it. But as the father said earlier, the future, which is unknown to everyone, is instilling that fear in our youth. In collaboration with some of these schools and also parents that are aiding some of these failures. What do I mean? Many centers where these exams are written today, even the results that WAEC released, you could raise so many questions on it. Because children are not informed to stand firmly and put in their best to do the needful. And that is why even those that have passed, that is not so encouraging that we can write home about. So many things could come up in that. Therefore, the result that is released this year of WAEC and what we saw also of the performances of our children or this youth of JAMB, we need to do more. And then is pointing at our future, the future of these, our younger generations.
And I like that word. We need to do more. But I will underline that word we, because we have to know who are the we, so that we will be able to know what to do. We might go on a short break now, because there are many things that we still need to do. But we'll go on a short break now. After this small short break, we'll now look at what do we do, so that at least we will not continue to complain and complain. Yeah, welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are still discussing youth and faith. What, if you see the way at which we have today, you see many of our young ones praying. And even when many of them are very brilliant, that they can do something, well, prayer is good. When they need to read in school, you see them, they have this program in the church, they have that program in the mosque, they have this program. At the end of the day, they are not concentrating. Briefly, how do the young people, how do they balance that kind of situation? Father?
Yes, you know, we left off as emphasizing the word we. We need to do something. And so the religious leaders are coming in here. They should come in here to help the situation.
I'm going there. I just want you to serve as background to that we.
To help the situation. Why should you, as a religious leader, tolerate somebody who should be reading for exam? Let me just be practical on this. There are some of our religious leaders who will tell the students, just come, we pray for you overnight. You're having an exam tomorrow. You should go and study and then rest your brain so that you'll be able to perform well in the exam the next day. You will tell the children, come to the church, we'll be praying overnight, we'll do night vigil. And then some go to the extent, it's very ridiculous, I just can't. Some go to the extent of giving them what they call miracle pen. Miracle pen? Miracle pen, when Jesus has told us that we should walk, that faith without work, that is written in the letter of St. James, James chapter 2, verse 26, where it says, faith without work is dead. Is dead. And then Philippians chapter 2, verse 12, we tell you to work out your salvation, struggle for your salvation in fear and trembling. So you can't just rely on faith, God will do it for you, and then you rely on the miracle pen. You have not gone to study.
Or miracle water.
Yes, you have not gone to rest your head so that your brain will rest and be able to do well in the exam. So some religious leaders are encouraging them. Just come, we pray for you, then you drop whatever you can drop, and then tomorrow the miracle will happen. God doesn't work that way. God has given you the brain to use it. So you can't be messing around with God.
One is just praying.
Yes, I've just been smiling when Father was mentioning
Why are you smiling?
This miracle pain of a thing. I thought in those days it was only
the
Muslims that do have the miracle pain.
It's everywhere.
It's quite unfortunate, very, very unfortunate that faith and hard work goes together.
Faith
and hard work goes together. And that is why in several verses of Quran, you will see that Allah will mention الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Those who believe and do righteous deeds.
Okay, that's faith and work.
Faith and work. You can't separate the two. You encourage these children, these younger ones, to put in their best and read. Read. Then have faith in what they have read and in their trust in their Creator to see them through the exams. That is where most of us must have to come in.
How?
We must encourage these younger ones to put in their best. Go and read. Give them time to read. And then, after reading, encourage them again to pray. Be submissive to the Creator who knows the question and knows the answer, to direct you that what you have read, may it be the one that will come out in the exams.
We have a saying in the Christian tradition that
Please.
grace builds on nature. Grace builds on nature. What that means is that God will come to help you when you can no longer help yourself. But when you can help yourself, God is by the side. Like when you have headache and you go to the church and you are praying, God, heal my headache. God will not come in that time. God will tell you, go to the chemist, go and buy Panadol. I have given human beings the intelligence to work out the way of healing themselves. So when you go to the hospital, go to the chemist, get the medicine that you need to heal yourself. But you see that some people, even when they have taken that medicine, it doesn't work well for them. There are some people who have incurable diseases which they are managing. That is where grace comes in. Where human beings are no longer able. Then God comes in there to help you. But when God has given you the brain to work out, go and study, and then you don't do that, you're on TikTok, you're on WhatsApp, and then hoping that by tomorrow God will work miracle for you.
And then that is where the issue of this discussion comes in. Some of them will go and relax without reading after they have been assured of these prayers and miracle pains and others and others. And then at the end of the day, they will be encouraged to bring 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, as the case may be, per institution, per papers. Then corruption comes in. For some of these things, corruption sets in. And when corruption sets in, whatever is built on corruption never lasts.
For sure.
Even if one is looking at it that is prospering, there shall be a time when it will crash. And that is one of the essence why we are having so many crises in our society today that we cannot even manage. We are becoming more overwhelmed in some of these crises.
Okay, now, I'm happy you have gotten to where I'm going. Now, what do we do as religious leaders? Do we continue to complain? Do we continue to be crying because these things have overwhelmed us? What do we do as religious leaders, especially from the religious houses? What are the things that you think should be done, at least to change the narrative?
You see, efforts have been put in place. Even from this program, a lot of discussions have been done on the issue of corruption and what corruption can do. So many effects, implications of it on this program and elsewhere. So also the religious institutions have been doing a lot of things so that people don't get engaged in these corruptions. Unfortunately, corruption continues to gain ground and then penetrating down to even our younger ones. Now the responsibility is this. The religious houses or institutions should put in more effort by enlightening and preaching, instilling God-fearing into the adherents. That is number one. Number two, parents should also be counseled properly that let these children be given that confidence. It's better you put in effort and fail than you passing through corruption.
Yes. Please, I want to repeat that statement.
It's better you put in effort and fail than excelling
Through corruption.
through corruption.
So you fail honorably.
So that you know you have put in your best. It's just that it is not God's time for you now. And when God's time comes, eventually it will come. But for you to go through back door, so parents has a lot to do.
Okay.
And then the institutions, that is government, also has a lot to do. And that takes me back to my earlier statement of a tripartite responsibility. The responsibility of the family, the responsibility of the schools / religious institutions and the responsibility of the society by, in context, the government.
Okay. Father.
All right. I want to cast our mind back to what happens when students graduate from university. The VC or whoever is concerned will tell us that they've been found worthy in character and learning. So the two, the character and learning. So what happens is we throw away the character. We forget that the first and most important part of education is character molding, character formation. So if you are found worthy in learning and not character, then you are half-baked. You are half-baked.
Not up to half, 49% baked.
Okay, whichever percentage you give them. Because the Bible tells us, the book of Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7 says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And just as you mentioned earlier, the Arabs translated that in Bible, and it's referred to as inna makhafatullah hiya bidayati hikmah. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And then Proverbs chapter 7 verse 7 again say that fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, but fools despise wisdom and despise knowledge. So wisdom is built on morality. You know, the first thing you learn is the fear of the Lord. When you learn the fear of the Lord, that will help you to learn other things. But when you throw away the fear of the Lord in the process of learning, then your learning is useless.
Yes.
And that's where corruption comes in. All your interest is to get the certificate. You are not thinking about the morality. How did I learn this? Or you are just interested in getting the result, but the ways through which you got that is suspicious. It's questionable. So we, the religious people, need to, and of course you remember, it's the religious houses that promoted education.
Yes.
Promoted education right from the beginning. I remember the first known university in the world is Al-Azhar.
No.
Al-Azhar.
No. The first known university, I'm sorry,
Okay.
is not no. Is also one of the universities, but the first one is University of Qarawiyyin, established by a lady in Fez in Morocco. It was established in 859 AD.
Okay. But Al-Azhar became famous because it was
center of the world.
It's Jama. It gathered a whole lot of...
Yes.
So it's faith-based, showing us that religious leaders or religious institutions, we are promoters of knowledge. And if they are promoting knowledge, they also promote it with character. That will give us the detail of the history of why you must be qualified in learning and character. So we have to go back again to know the foundation of knowledge. A knowledge that has no morality is an empty knowledge. And so we need to really think about it. And this has to be done by the religious leader. I see a situation where even some religious schools join the bandwagon because they want a good name. They want our school got the highest in JAM, all our students got A1 and all that. And you that's supposed to be bastion of morality, you join others to bastardize the system, which is very, 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 very terrible because you are now doing the opposite of what you are supposed to do. So we, the religious leaders, we need to conscientize our students, our children, who are members of our congregation, that they need to be formed in character, not just in learning. Because when you are formed in learning and then you are not formed in character, then you are half-baked. I go back to that.
Yes, I still want to re-emphasize this, Imam. How do religious leaders, what is your opinion if they stand on their member, on their pulpit, to begin to preach this every time? That you mention it's better you fail honorably than you pass through corruption. What's your take on that?
Yes, just for emphasis purposes, that on this issue of corruption, on this issue of our youth and faith, member is a very good opportunity, avenue to, let me borrow the word from Father, conscientize, because the parents have key role to play. in most of these issues, engaging these students, these youth, right from the home. Because after the religious institutions have played their part, they goes back home to meet their parents. Therefore, there must be that synergy between the religious institutions and the family. Then we now produce a well-balanced and well-behaved child in the society. So our pulpits are open for most of these discussions, and I want to believe, like in my own institution, severally discussions have been held on God-fearing, because the fear of Allah is the beginning of wisdom, which from the early childhood, these children should be well informed of their Creator and how they should behave normally and morally, acceptable to everyone in the society. We begin to build that in them, that even later, wherever they find themselves and anybody wants to corrupt them, because of that fear that is already in them, they can resist and say, no, I want to put in my best. Religious institutions have a lot to do, but in synergy with the family.
Your final word.
Yeah, because the parents,
Final word.
they are also afraid. They don't want my child, for them to say my child failed exam, and they are afraid of financial implication. He has to write again, so they want to do it once and for all. So you have to do your very best. But if we are conscious of our integrity, our morality, even the parents, we are religious people, and we profess our religiosity. Nigeria is a religious institution. So if we are conscious of our religious identity, both parents and even the child should learn that the fear of the Lord will make them not to do things the contrary way that they should do. So they should be faithful. That's why our program, the topic is faith and youth. So your faith should show in whatever you are doing. You don't put your faith aside. There shouldn't be a situation where you say, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. The funny situation where we find in our church, where somebody would think he come to the church on Sunday and give God what belongs to him, and then on Monday he start doing what he likes. No, it is very, very wrong.
Okay. I think your word is the Caesar and what belongs to him belongs to God.
Yes, even the Caesar himself belongs to God.
The Caesar himself belongs to God. So it means God is the owner of everything. Everything you do, you must be conscious of God. The parents, you have to be conscious of God in taking care of your words, of your young ones. And the young ones who, the youth, you have to be conscious of your God. Thank you so much for being part of this program today. And to all of you who are sitting and watching, thank you. We want to appreciate you that when we meet next time, same station and same time, my name still remains Imam Fuad Adeyemi, saying bye-bye.